Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to talk about customization and how to get the most out of your Samsung Galaxy device. Now in this video, I won't be going super in-depth over every detail, every nook and cranny, but what I am going to do is pretty much give you a solid overview of the different options you have, and then whatever options you would like to see more in-depth content on, all you gotta do is comment down in the comment section below about different aspects of personalizing your device, and I will create a video around that for you. But I gotta see the hype train behind it. All right. So in this video, we're gonna tackle basically about 4 or 5 different aspects that can help you get the most out of your Galaxy device to personalize it the way you want to do so. And the first area we're gonna start is not the always on display. It's the lock screen. And yes, if you know why I have that transition from pain to yeah. All right. So, the lock screen. This is your primary presentation for your device. This gives people a glimpse into what you have going on your Samsung Galaxy device. And the reason that is because it's kind of like first impressions, right? First impressions matter. And so with that being said here, how can you make this look the way you want to? So now that we're in, this is the presentation you have to give you the options to customize at your will. And you have your wallpaper section up here. You can click on each section here. So this will help you change your clock. And if you want to, you can actually add widgets by clicking on the widget section below it. This gives you the option to add widgets on your lock screen. And then you have the options to change your quick buttons down here. I have live transcribe and I have flashlight. The reason why I have these options is so if I'm having to speak or overcome language barriers, live transcribe allows me to do that. Flashlight, plain and simple, straightforward. If it gets dark, all I gotta do is swipe to access my flashlight. Wallpaper wise, all you have to do is click on wallpaper, and now you're greeted with different options such as the primary wallpapers that Samsung gives you out of the box, your gallery, which is where your photos lie. You can even create with AI, which I used to do, and I actually really like this feature because you can create AI-based wallpapers for the lock screen and for your main wallpaper. And as you see, you can even do photo ambient, which kind of bases off the weather for your lock screen. So it will animate weather animations depending on the climate in your area. And then you have graphical, colors, and wallpaper services for such as dynamic lock screen. So things that you can change at your convenience for your lock screen. This is important, and we'll get into it later. This is just the beginning. You also have Lockstar, but we will get into that later on in the video. And so now once you've kind of created your lock screen, now you want to access the device. And let's tackle the always on display. The reason why that's something you may want to check out next is because that's something that you can look at or gives you information at a glance without having to actually activate the phone. You can leave it in standby by having information available with your always on display. And so upon finding it here, because sometimes it could be hard to find that lock screen and AOD. If we click on AOD, you have options with AOD. You have the option to show your lock screen wallpaper, which I use because I like to see that undertone. It looks really good. And I like the transition between the lock screen and the AOD wallpapers, which we'll get into later in the video. You can erase background depending on the wallpaper you're using and the services you're using for that. You can show your now bar, which is that there at the bottom. That's your now brief. That's your media player that pops up there as well. And I think in time, like sports scores will also populate in that area. And if you scroll up, this is where you have a little bit more customization over your always on display, when to show. So you could do tap to show, where you can just tap the screen and it'll show it. Doesn't work for my setup, of course. You can do auto, where it, through Galaxy AI, ambient lighting temperatures, how often and when was the last time you used your phone, this will activate your always on display and then deactivate it when it realizes that you haven't been messing with your phone, when it's been inactive for a good period of time. You can always have it shown, just have it all the time. You also have schedule, giving it a period of time to show all the time. And then you could do just for new notifications for your always on display. So this gives you different levels of control and personalization over always on display. Now, if we back out and swipe down a little bit more here, this is your main wallpaper, your main home screen. This is where you can have further customizations that may be very fluid and will match your lock screen. This could be completely different. It all depends on what you want to do. Are you a widgets type person like I am? I have widgets all over the place, and thankfully I can customize these widgets. So with this one, if I press and hold and I click on settings, I can actually bring the background back in. If I hit done, now my background is back in up there. Actually still fits my current setup because of the type of wallpaper I'm using. If anything, I wish I could probably cause this one to go transparent, like my folder for my apps there. I have a transparent background for my calendar widget, and these are all stock widgets. Samsung, Apple Music, and then this is Samsung's folder over here, and then the Google bar in my specific situation. This is what I like to have set up for my home screen because it gives me most of my information at a glance and I don't have to worry about much. And then I have a folder. If I click on that, it brings up the rest of the apps in the folder. But what's unique about Samsung's folder is the fact that I could just click on something and it'll actually bring us right on in with no problems. So I like the fact that the folder is very interactive in that way where you don't have to expand it to access the front-facing apps. Now, along with that, you can use your Google Feed. I haven't used this in a while. This shows you how speedy and how accessible this Google Discovery feed page is. For me not to have activated it in a while, for me to just do a quick swipe and it activated seamlessly. I like that about the Samsung Galaxy S25 in particular. The Snapdragon 8 Elite chip for Samsung's Galaxy platform, amazing. And then over here, I have a bigger Apple widget that I thought I got rid of, and I have my card collection here sitting at a nice little, nice little shum right there, growing. Charizard is booming right now. Just want to let y'all know that. So this is really like the main squeeze when it comes to being able to customize your device. Your lock screen, your always on display, your wallpapers, and your main screen. Now, how else can you activate your personal touch, if you will? Well, by swiping down, you have access to your notification panel and your quick grid. Now, for me personally, I maintain the more classic look where swiping down still gives you access to some quick settings. If I wanted to, I could switch it to One UI 7's more look that we've had. So if I click on settings over here, oh, haha, I gotta swipe down again. This is where you gain access even more so to the rest of your notification panel, and you can actually adjust these. So if I press the edit button, this allows you to move any section that you want to for your accessibility. So maybe you want things higher or lower, you don't want them at all. You have that accessibility here, and then you can click on panel settings, and this is where I was talking about before. Together is the more classic look, separate is the new look. Separate separates your notifications from your quick grid. And then here, quick panel on, and then you can even swap sides for it as well. So you can, make it a little Apple-esque, if you will. It's just you have more access to your notification with swipe down gestures with the Galaxy device and with Android devices in general. So if I did separate and I swipe back and I hit done, this is what it's going to look like now. Notifications only. If I swipe over, now I have access to my full complete quick grid. And then if I want even more access to these, all I gotta do is on this little buddy right there, and it will swipe down everything for me. So that's what it looks like when you adjust to the new One UI 7 approach to the notification panel. Not a big deal overall. It just sometimes this can make it a lot easier to access notifications according to your liking. Now, in this case, it makes it a little bit harder because they're higher, so now I kind of have to play hand gymnastics a little bit. But in the previous setup, because the quick grid already sucked up some real estate up here, it pushes the notifications down, so that way they're more accessible with my thumb. But again, to each his personal preference in terms of being able to customize that. Now let's say taking a break from some of those personal customization, creative vibes that you want to bring to your phone. Maybe you want to customize aspects of the phone's capabilities. Well, this is where you have to download separate apps. And the first app we're going to talk about is Good Guardians, an app that I love, an app that I don't think gets enough attention unless it's on this YouTube channel here. And this is where in the Galaxy Store you can download Good Guardians. This app provides modules that gives you even more customization and control over your device. So Battery Guardian, if we click in Battery Guardian, this gives you access to additional options to tweak and tailor your battery consumption or your adaptive power saving skills to your liking, and it's all within this module there. You also have Galaxy App Booster, which allows you to boost your apps, and it does a decent job because, as you see here, it can improve performance by up to 15%. Some applications may be restarted and your device may heat up during optimization. What a great app to also use. Now, take note, you can't keep doing this over and over again. Once you do it once, it's at 15% the first time. When you try to go back and double back on it, it might say something like 5% because it's already optimized everything. It's already logged things into the background appropriately, in the foreground appropriately. So you're not going to really get much of a speed boost out of it going forward. So this really is a good module to use when you have just updated your phone, if you've had a restart recently, and it will even ask you or recommend you to do so after one of those two events take place. So I would say this is a good app to use as well, and it also gives you the time range in which how long it may take to actually optimize your apps. And so for me, I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm actually breaking stuff down. Might do it after the camera. We'll see though. I am anticipating an update from Samsung soon, so maybe after that update, I'll boost my apps. Thermal Guardian, underrated. This allows you to tweak the thermals of your CPU, meaning if you wanted to leave it dead center here, this allows you to keep things out of the box. But if you want to get a little bit more out of your processor, you raise it by 2 degrees Celsius, or if you want to keep it cooler, you can drop it by 2 degrees Celsius. Again, more customization at your fingertips. And then if you're really concerned about additional settings that can help keep your phone or keep your CPU, cool and under control, you can limit CPU, you can decrease maximum brightness when heating, apply standard motion smoothness when heating, and even tailor your 5G network use, all in attempts to limit the amount of heating the phone will do. Now in my case, I've been able to get this phone under control and I haven't had really any heating problems as of recently. Thankfully, the last couple of weeks have been sweet ever since being able to super tweak my phone, and a couple updates from Samsung also helped. And then Memory Guardian, this is where, again, you have more customization to access the phone's ability to keep apps logged in or not. And you just simply hit the customization app, and you could do quick switching mode, which keeps more apps in the background, or you can even do speed up top app mode, where it cleans up memory to secure empty space on a regular basis. So you could do that or keep it out of the box at default. I like quick switching. It has a good amount of RAM, so for me, it makes sense to use as much of that memory as possible, and that's why I like keeping apps in the background for my device. But that is Good Guardians. Now, Good Lock is where you're going to get even more customization tools at your disposal for your lock screen, for your always-on display, and overall for your phone, including your notification panel, as you see that I have mine tailored to there. And so by going into Good Lock, you jump in here. And as I said, I'm only going to choose so many things within Good Lock because there's way too much to talk about. One of the things you probably notice is my icon pack is from the theme park within Good Lock. I'm using the glass icons. And so if I jump on over here to icon, as you see, I'm using glass Mark IV. That's because I've retouched it 4 different times to adjust it to the way I like. If I click in it and I click edit, this is where you have the ability to change the shape of your icons as well. I like the current shape, but I could change it to be more circle based. I could change it to be more square or squircle based. I could change them to be more square based, more tier shaped, cloudy looking. And then the effects of the glass that I'm using can be tailored right here. And then if I don't like glass, I could click on glass. I thought I could click on glass. Where is it at? Oh, up here at the top. You could change the effect of the actual icon. So instead of glass, I could do dual tone, where it gives it a little extra, shabamo there, which looks pretty decent, right? If I really wanted to make it match, wallpapers and everything, I could do something like that. I could do black and white, basically, or grainy. Let's see, if I could swipe, I could do gradient, giving it a little bit of an extra punch, if you will. So that's also unique. Now, you also notice it doesn't affect every single app, which is unfortunate. So you have to keep that in mind. Even with the glass, it doesn't affect everything either. So if I back out and I back out again, I'm back to the main page of GoodLock. WonderLock is what I'm using right now, as you see, with my AOD. So if I click in here and I want to create an effect, I've had a few created, and I can always switch these out whenever I want to. Right now I'm using the pane and the sunset, but if I want to, I could switch on over to this one, and this is Spider-Man and the Gundam. So this is also nice. I like that a lot. It looks very clean, very, very, very appropriate to what I got going on there. So I like that a lot. But then I also have my Goku one that I created, where you got Super Saiyan 4 Goku blasting the Kamehameha. Then you have Goku just thinking about the fun he has when he has a solid challenge in front of him. So you can create them, they log them in there, they save them. You have pre-made ones as well. And then you can continue to make them there. WonderLock is super solid for Samsung Galaxy devices. And then Lockstar. I told you we was going to get back to it. That's when if you click on Lockstar right here, is how you get these additional options here. And then you can have a little bit more fun adding stickers, favorite apps, app widgets, help text, lock screen timeout. You can change that with Lockstar, and your lock icon you can get rid of too, apparently, which I think is up there. Or you can change it. So if I click on it, you can change what it looks like. And so that's actually pretty unique. I just realized that myself. So if I actually wanted to get a little creative with it, I'm gonna change it to that one. Bada boom. Now, if I want to, I could also turn it off. If I wanted to. I don't want to right now. And so, as you see, you have so many options at your fingertips, and you can even adjust the always on display if you wanted to. And I believe you even have a little bit more granular options over your quick apps there at the bottom. If I want to, after I click on that, you get additional clocks as a result of Lockstar as well. So you'll see the option right there. Those little icons are signaling these are from the Lockstar app. And so you can adjust this as well to your liking, so that way you don't have, your phone will not look like the next person's phone. That's how solid this can be for you as an individual. And you can adjust whatever you need to, whatever you want, so that in that way this phone is exactly what you want and what you need it to be. And so that is Lockstar. Keys Cafe gives you the ability to adjust your keyboard. I think I have to readjust my keyboard again because initially I had it and then I made it. So keyboard here, this is where you can actually adjust your keys within the keyboard. So if I click on this, you can adjust your keys. You can adjust the back keys. You can literally make the keyboard look the way you want, have as many tiles as you want. You don't have to have everything here. You can shrink and minimize the space button, how big that is, increase the period size button. You could have so much fun at your fingertips with the keyboard, and that's what I like about it. Now, what I actually like is stylizing the keyboard. Now, this is what I initially was using. I think I'm gonna turn this back on. I think it's back on now. After I updated with One UI beta 5 or beta 6, it, for whatever reason, it turned it off, so I turned it back on there. And so now if I click on here and bring up the keyboard, I like what that keyboard looks like. And if I want to, I can make adjustments by clicking on whatever I want to throughout what's already been created. And then if you want, I think you could create your own right there. And then you can have effects, and you can have different sounds if you use sounds for your keyboard. So very, very intuitive from that perspective. Notice star, home up. Home up is where you could get even more creative with your home screen. Specifically within home screen, you have what's called DIY home screen. This allows you to actually adjust where the spacing of everything. So if I pinch out, you have the option up here for DIY. And if I wanted to, and watch this, so I press and hold, and I want to move it here, I can. You have complete freedom with the app. Now I'm gonna press back because I don't want to do that for mine. But as you see, you have complete freedom to move apps and overlap them as you please and as you wish. And then you can adjust down here with different settings, whether you want to delete a widget altogether, you actually want to undo a move, and then you can even click on multiple at the same time and adjust them as well. So you have that option. You could change the layering. You know, let's say this is above the calendar. I could swap it where this is now above the clock. So you could change the overlapping layers for each widget. So there's so much you can do with GoodLock, but specifically within the modules within GoodLock, there's so much at your disposal. And the last thing we're going to talk about is, and technically clock face and Lockstar go hand in hand because clock face are those additional clocks within Lockstar. So that was my bad on that one. Quick Start is the last one I'm really going to highlight in this video, and that is being able to stylize your own quick panel. As you see, this is exactly what mine looks like right here. But you can have different options here, and then you can actually create your own and actually adjust what you want yours to look like. So if you love pink, it's crazy that they just default to pink like that, but there you go. You can do a pink aesthetic if you want to get your Barbie on with it, right? Where's Ken at? So you have so much at your disposal with GoodLock, and I mean, you can just enjoy hours of tweaking your device to your liking. And there's so much more within GoodLock as well, but unfortunately I'm not going to spend that much time in GoodLock because this video would be so much longer. I think 20 minutes is a good solid amount of time to really showcase to you guys just some of the benefits of being with Samsung's Galaxy devices in the Galaxy ecosystem and what they make accessible for us as their users. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about Samsung's devices. Do you like the amount of features that Samsung gives us? Do you think they give us too much? Did you not know about some of these features? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, notification. That's all free. That way you know some videos. So you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super thanks button down there by the like and dislike button, Cash App and PayPal, and check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's what to keep fresh and alive on this channel. It's your man Micah signing out until the next video. Wait for it.